guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. Today I have for you a highly anticipated product. I have seen reviews of this popping up all over YouTube already and it really intrigued me, so I really wanted to review the item myself. What we are talking about is the new Huda Beauty foundation. I ordered this off of Sephora, just got it in the mail today. Disclaimer, I have a wretched cold. So there's a method to my madness. I figured, since I've been blowing my nose all day, literally sitting on my ass, downing chicken broth, that if this foundation can make my poor skin look good, then we've got a winner on our hands. As you can see from blowing my nose, all around my face here is pretty much red as shit. We will see how this holds up. Of course, before we get started, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you want to be notified when I upload new videos just like this one. Just hit the bell button right next to that subscribe button and then you will be good to go. So let's go ahead and dive right in and talk about this foundation here. Alright, so this foundation is advertised as a radiant finish, medium to full coverage foundation. First thing I want to say, with her shade range, it was like fair, light, medium, dark, deep, something like that. I ended up looking at all of those swatches and I fell in the range of the light. I have been staying out of the sun. I did not get much sun at all this summer. It doesn't surprise me that my natural skin tone is really truly here now, and I probably do fall more into the light medium type shades. I picked mine up in the shade Chai. This is 210B. I have not tried this foundation yet. Obviously, like I said, I just got this in the mail. So what I'm going to do is put it on my face, do a first impressions, and then what I will do is check in with you guys a few hours later. So right now it is 6:44 p.m. Let's go ahead and try this out. We will open up the box here, slide it out. Oh, the hell was that? Sweet, you actually get a little sample of the perfect You guys, I have a serious problem with talking lately. Her Complexion Perfection Pre-Makeup Base. So this actually came with it, which I think is actually a pretty smart selling technique, because I don't really think it's a gimmick. I think when a product comes out and they sell a primer and obviously they sell their foundation, those two items are there to work together, and it really truly will optimize the experience and the end result of the product. I chose not to pick it up, but I'm actually glad they included this in here, so we will use this primer before putting this on. Let's go ahead and get this primer on the skin. And this is supposed to be a moisturizing makeup base. It's just supposed to smooth everything out, plump your skin. Oh, this is really thick. I'm gonna start with about this much. I feel like that's way too much, so I'm just gonna kind of dab this on and start there. It has a very light scent to it. It's kind of floral. That feels so nice on the skin. Wow. Like so much excess on my other fingers, but that's all right. So let's just go ahead and let that set in for a moment. As it's starting to dry down, it actually feels a little bit tacky, which is actually a good thing. I find that tackier primers allow for a foundation to really grab onto the skin, and that's very beneficial. It can actually aid in the foundation lasting longer and just really sticking to your skin. So let's go ahead and dive into the foundation here. Here is what she looks like. I don't know why I refer to makeup products as she all the time. I just noticed that. So here's what it looks like. I actually really do like this packaging. I think it looks very high-end. One thing I will point out, this foundation is on the Sephora website for $40. I figured that for a $40 foundation that this would have been glass. This is not glass. This is a plastic container, which whatever. It's not all about the packaging. It's how the product works. Take off the lid and you've got a pump. I love a good pump. It keeps things hygienic. It's easier to use. It preserves your product because then you're not dumping too much out. This is the FAUXFILTER High Coverage Cream Foundation by Huda Beauty. So let's go ahead and just put some on the back of the hand. I'm going to start with one pump, and I think I'm going to use my beauty blender first. I actually prefer to pick up the product directly onto my sponge and then put it on my face. I think that might waste a little bit of product, but I feel like, I don't know, I like the way that works better. And it looks like I did a good job picking out my shade. I was really nervous about that, but I'm happy. So like I said, I'm gonna do this half of my face with the sponge, and then the other half we will use the brush. So far, this definitely is high coverage. I mean, look at this. Look how red my face is here, and look how much of that redness is already being taken away, and I still have product in the back of my hand. going on nicely. It's blending out nicely. I'm already really loving the finish of this on my skin. It just looks so soft. It kind of is like what they say, it's like a faux filter, it really is. And it's not so far settling into my fine lines, which is kind of a test for me. I do have some lines on the sides of my forehead here, and foundation's gonna settle in there no matter what. It's inevitable, it's never perfect for me, but this one isn't looking bad. All right, so let's go ahead and move to the other side. As you can see, that one like half pump dispersed all over my face. Actually, before I go in, I'm just gonna go around here just with a little bit more product just to see how it layers, because again, that's where a lot of my redness is, around my nose. It is gathering a little bit underneath my nose here. It is looking a little bit bunchy, a little bit cakey, but we'll see once it all sets in. Now, finally, let's go ahead and move on to the other side of my face. Let's go ahead and use a brush and see how that works. So I'm gonna take out just a little bit more of the product. This is my BS Mall foundation face brush. I actually did a video on these brushes. This is from that super cheap set of brushes that I got off of Amazon. This foundation brush is awesome. Like, I am obsessed with this brush. All right, so final verdict as far as applying it goes. I do actually think I like the brush side better. I feel like it just looks a little bit smoother. I feel like with the Beauty Blender, it kind of made, like, as you can see here, the foundation is like settling a bit in my lines on this side where I use the Beauty Blender, but it's not doing that on the side that I use the brush. So I don't know if it's like the stippling effect of going like this and just kind of moving it around, and if it's just setting the foundation differently, or if I'm not quite sure, but yeah, I definitely think I like the brush better. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, put on some blush, bronzer, contour, and then I will be right back. All right, you guys, so I am back. So I finished up my makeup here. I set this foundation using La Mer, the powder. I put on some contour, blush, highlight, some lipstick, all my normal shit when I do my makeup, and then I set everything with some MAC Fix Plus. So far, I can say I do like the foundation. I'm not totally wowed yet. I want to wear it for a little bit, see how it sits on the skin, see how it kind of sits in. I know that sometimes with your body heat, after wearing a foundation for like 20 minutes, that's really the true way that you can tell how a foundation is going to, you know, finish itself and look on your skin. I will go ahead and wear this for the rest of the evening. I will come back and check in the next few hours here so we can kind of come up with a final conclusion of how I feel about this Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. I will be back in just a bit. Alright guys, so I have had this foundation on for just shy of 4 hours, and I have come up with some final conclusions about this foundation. So I have been blowing my nose all night, obviously, because I am sick and I'm trying so hard to kick this cold. This foundation really did hold up through blowing my nose better than other foundations have that I own and that I've tried when I'm sick. So I will give it that. That is the first plus, that once you put it on, I do feel that it really kind of adheres to the skin very well. I don't notice that it's broken up or anything like that, or that it has faded, oxidized, changed colors. I do like that as time went on, that it did set into my skin a little more, and that is common with any foundation. It's really hard to do a first impression on foundation because you do have to let that foundation sit on the skin to really kind of come up with a final conclusion on how something really is going to feel, look, and be the end result as far as face makeup goes. It does settle a bit into my lines more than other foundations that I have. So that is one thing I will talk about. I do have fine lines across my forehead here and then underneath my eyes. Foundation typically does set in those lines for me, but this one is just a little bit more than others, which I can notice. Now, I do want to try this foundation again using some of my normal primers. I'm not quite sure that the makeup base that is made to go with this foundation is so much that it will actually fill in fine lines and, you know, reduce pores. Looking at this, there is dimethicone in the ingredients in the skin base, but it's definitely not very high up on the list. It is listed several several times. However, I do still think that this is nice if you have dry skin. So it might be nice to kind of put that on, and then if you want even more of a smoothing effect, use your normal primer that you would use for fine lines, wrinkles, and pores. So I do want to try that. I do want to see if that makes a difference. One thing that I am really obsessed with is the coverage of this foundation. It is extremely pigmented and very full coverage. I would say this leans way more on the full coverage side than I would on the medium side. Based on that, normal redness, normal skin discolorations, or pigmentation, one pump, one layer of this foundation would do it. Last observation, as time went on and the makeup had time to really sit on my skin, I really didn't have a preference as far as using the beauty blender or the brush. I do like how the product distributed a little bit better with the beauty blender, but for some reason I liked how it ended up, like, I don't know, applying to my skin initially with the brush. I think that might have been with that stippling kind of motion that it just really, you know, prevented it from looking cakey. I don't know. I mean, either one really wasn't so much worse than the other. I just personally preferred the brush as far as applying it. My final thoughts would be that because of the coverage that I get, I think it's awesome for camera makeup, selfies, photos, because obviously there's no SPF in it, so you're not going to get any flashbacks or anything like that. My bronzer, my blush, my highlight, everything's set on top of it beautifully. So I think for photos, this is definitely I would say it would be a game changer because of that pigmentation and the full coverage that it offers. Would I reach for it daily over other foundations that I have? Probably not. I prefer the Makeup Forever HD Weightless Foundation. I love my L'Oreal Pro Glows, Pro Mattes. Honestly, would find myself reaching for those more than I would for this on a daily basis. That is my conclusion. You decide the rest. If you feel it's something that you want to go and grab and you feel like it's a must, we are all different. We all have different opinions and different wants and different needs, especially when it comes to skin. Leave me a comment in the comment section down below if you tried this foundation, if you think it's really worth the hype, if you plan on purchasing it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, before you go, click that subscribe button down below. Give me a thumbs up if you like videos like this. I look forward to seeing you guys next time, and I hope you're having a wonderful day, evening, wherever you are. Bye.